Hey everybody, welcome to Habitat Now. I'm your host Aaron Schey, and we're going to be talking about the upcoming Glass Coast weekend in Sarasota, Florida, and St. Petersburg. Um, this is going to be an exciting trip. We went there, I guess now last year, and it was an amazing experience as we were able to rent the soundstage of the Ringling College of Art and Design. And this is one aspect of the many things going on, but it's a huge space with 30-foot ceilings. You could go in there and clap and you wouldn't hear a single echo. It's an amazing room that Rob and Dave, our employees and partners here at the gallery, part of our family who've been there forever, build a exhibition space, and we're bringing 4 exhibitions I'll get into. So let me start sharing my screen here and get through some of the housekeeping of the upcoming events, because there's a lot that we have going on. So many of you email me or text me about the upcoming the Zooms. On our webpage, there's a button. It says right around here, it says a hamburger. If you click it, it drops down and it says virtual presentations. And I post the links there for every week. And then the past presentations also on this page. So feel free to check it out, just so you know if you can't get a hold of me to join the talk. We have an upcoming exhibition in March for Mark Laputa, and some of his exhibition will be down in Sarasota, so some of you will get a glimpse of that. And we're excited. I think it's his birthday today or yesterday, so I wanted to wish him a happy birthday should he see this or be on the talk. NGG is continuing. I just spoke with Mike DuPont, who is our next presenter. Will probably be on next week on Saturday. He is an exciting artist. He's been in our Pop and Lock show, a very underrated talent. He was trained by John Moran and Slate Grove, who was on the ACG talk yesterday. So exciting how it all ties together. Join us. We're still planning for our glass tour. I think the space might be filled up. There might be 1 or 2 left. But if you're interested in doing that trip, we've talked about it. It is going to be fun. I tried to finagle my way on the trip, but with the babies, I couldn't do it just yet. Our international is going to be in June this year. And the invitations have gone out to the artists to save a date to some of the clients if you haven't heard about it. It's June 5th to 7th. I'm working on something new for the Sunday before, which would be the 4th, since a lot of artists will be in town and the AACG group will be here. And I think there's a group coming from Fort Wayne. So, it's going to be a fun event. So moving on to the Glass Coast weekend. Let me close this down so I can see what I'm doing. There's still room for people to attend. We're getting a lot of more RSVPs as of late. People get their plans together. Had some questions about hotel. I'll direct a lot of those to Debbie at the gallery, because she's been dealing with people trying to find a space and ideas. The big one she came up with as of late is people like trying to find an Airbnb and teaming up to find a space because costs have gone up in the hotel. It's always an issue. What we're doing to help a little bit is, if you purchase a piece during the Glass Coast weekend, we'll take the money you put down to pay for the weekend and put it towards the purchase. Just trying to do what we can to motivate people to come see us in Florida. So we'll go over a little bit of the weekend in the brochure many of you have seen online. The dates, late February, there's a lot of events. So we have Barbara Bash giving us a tour of the Bash exhibition at the Bash Gallery at the Ringling College of Art and Design. It is called Circles and Spheres. I think it opened up earlier this year, and I know Richard Royal was down there doing a demonstration celebrating the opening. I've also heard through the grapevine that Thurman Statham will be having a show at the Ringling campus too, so I'm diving in to figure out when we can come visit that. I'm a big fan of Thurman's work, and it would be great to see his exhibition. On top of all that, there is our 4 exhibitions we'll be talking about, our auction we'll be talking about. We had to cut out the demo this year. I'm so sorry about that. And we're adding in a party afterwards because we contacted the Ringling College and they don't have their studio open for the semester. We tried to hook up with the Moran Center in St. Petersburg, and they have a fundraiser the same night. We're going to be there on Saturday. So Davide Salvadori was supposed to do a demonstration for us. So we're going to try to find a digital one to play during our event. But we're going to do something new this year. An informal event on Thursday after our events will go over is we're going to be going out informally to some place, and I'll talk. Steve Lynn mentioned before the talk to make a reservation, because we're going to go out and celebrate the retirement of the Imagine Museum's director, Jane Buckman, celebrating her effort and time she's been at Imagine since she's retiring from there, and wishing her best on her next endeavor. So Thursday night we'll be going somewhere, which is something new, not added to this whole soiree. Everybody's invited. It's very informal. So covering the exhibitions. So Ferdinand Hampson, the founder of the gallery, helped curate 2 of the exhibitions. We have the Pioneers, which is curated by Ferd, which is I think 10 artists, and I think Stanislav Lubinsky and Yarva Radislova count as, each of their own artist, and then 8 more other unique artists into the presentation. So we're selecting masterpieces of these 10 artists, which I'll go over, that you can see at that space. A Legends exhibition, which is really people who have pushed the medium into what it is today. I think there's like 28 or 33 artists that are invited. So it's going to be the bulk of the show. A lot of impressive artists that you know in our Habatat family. And then we have a show called Gravity Bound Art. And I'll explain this title real quick for those who don't know. In the digital world of NFTs, which is the thing that came and kind of went, the people that collected this digital art form called art in the physical world gravity bound art, subject to gravity. So in an effort to kind of take control of that terminology, I'm doing our first gravity bound art exhibition. I also own gravitybound.art, the URL, which I'll have fun with in the future, but it's a lot of fun to, play into something that's so topical and do it in our own way. And last, early in 2022, we talked with Wilfred Grutens about doing a solo show. We did one virtually during the pandemic, but we're doing a physical one at the Glass Coast weekend. It's an honor. He's going to be giving a talk during our event, and he's got an amazing collection. He really worked really hard. He's got these new wall panel pieces we'll be looking at. He really is an amazing talent. So the Pioneers exhibition, these are the 10 historic artists. They're kind of labeled in these pictures. You can see there Erwin Eich is with Harvey Littleton in the top picture. You got Lubinsky Brachtova, Marvin Lepofsky, Klaus Moye, Lino Teklopietra, Berta Wiesner, Francis Wiesner, and Ann Wolf. So it's going to be kind of a smaller show. It's getting harder to find works by these artists in the world. We get some of the secondary market. Some of them will be in the auction, but we're trying our best. We're actually borrowing Ferdinand Kathy Hampson's Klaus Moye piece for the exhibition because we just don't have one, and they're happy to loan it to us for that. So expect a little bit of history. And then we get into Legends exhibition, which Ferd wrote, is the reason that glass is an enduring art medium. So there's a bulk of artists that are talented. We'll go into it. We have like 13 artists being there. Many of you are on this talk today. It's going to be an amazing presentation that was curated by the hand of Ferdinand. And last is the Gravity Bound Art exhibition, which is artists that are pushing the medium and relative today to younger people who are creating. But there's some real talents in here, like Mark Lapuda's in here, who has an exhibition. Pavel Holska, who makes a lot of the work for Siegler now. Just a variety of talent. Expect to see some new things that are impressive. And then I'm not going to go into this too much because we're going to do our own separate Zoom. We'll have a talk about the upcoming auction, which is now online. You can see 52 works available for sale on habatat.com. You can see the format as we did last time. I advise all of you to bid using our platform because you save money on the premium. You don't have to pay the live auctioneers premium, but you can if you want to choose to use live auctioneers. But the best is also placing a bid directly with me over the phone or plan silent bidding, because that gets you the lowest premium, which is 16% on top of the hammer. So your choice. One seems more rational than the rest to me, but people like doing what they want to do. This Glancy is the last piece of the auction. There's Lubinsky in there, a beautiful cityscape, but we'll talk about that at a later Zoom. But feel free to check it out and let me know your thoughts. So Wilfred Grutens' exhibition, I think he's sending in about 12 new works. And on the right, you see his newer wall panel work, which is 4 layers of, it's 30 by 30 glass and has been watercolor painted that are layered together and mounted in a frame. We've been doing quite well with these works. I think we had about 4 or 5 of them and sold them all. So I'm happy we're getting more in because we ran out. And then obviously his normal, most expected, but well-loved and acquired cube works will have a lot of the usual 8x8 size, I think 1 9x9, and his bowl sculpture. He's also going to be, we're also loaning work to the Imagine Museum for their exhibition there because he is receiving an award from them. We're lending them 2 of the large egg forms. So you'll have a chance to go and see those pieces over there. I heavily advise you not to pick one up because they weigh 120 pounds. I had to curl one like this onto a table one time, but once they're in place, they are just stunning, and he'll be there at the show. Something new too this year is the Ringling Museum is giving us a reception. We're going to visit them one day and have some kind of maybe hors d'oeuvres or something, and they'll welcome us to the museum. We'll have a chance to see the new works that are out in the Colville Cotler Pavilion, and they're actually arranging a scavenger hunt for us. I gave them my scavenger hunt we did at Flint a couple years ago, and they're going through their museum and they're going to put a scavenger hunt together for us, for just something fun and different to do. And it motivates people who have been to the Ringling, museum a few hundred times to try and experience it in a new way. And then I asked them, what can we give as a prize to the winner? And they're going to figure it out. It's something fun from the institution itself, that whoever answers the questions correct will win, like we did at the Flint Museum. So that's part exciting as well. And then let's see, I'll just cover it now. On Saturday, we're going to the Imagine Museum for their 5th anniversary gala. And if you've been to one of these, it's quite a magical night. You get to see the new exhibitions on display. It's a private event for the members, I believe, and maybe non-members can come if they pay a certain fee. But it is a lot of fun. You get to experience the founder of the institution, which usually gives a talk, as well as the awards. I know Vladimir Klumpar is in town along with her son Matthias Pavlik. They will be receiving, or at least Vladimir will be receiving awards. It's going to be a great time, and it's an event I do on Saturday night. So I also talked to Debbie yesterday, and she said there's still room left for Deanna Clayton's glass class. If you haven't done this, it's a lot of fun. It's $150 that goes right to Deanna, and she'll make you go and sit with her, and you basically make a little glass pot de verre bowl, and she takes it back to her studio and finishes it. It's well worth the money. It's a great experience. My Aunt Karen did it. You can see her right here holding her bowl that she made. It was great. I'd buy that. I'd sell that in the gallery easily, and she loves it. So contact Debbie and get those last few slots. I think there's only 12 slots. There's 6 slots left. If you're going down there, it's definitely a must do because it's really worth it. So overall cost. You have a question, Howard?
Quickly, when is Deanna's class again, Aaron?
It's usually on Thursday, the first day of the event.
Thursday morning?
Yep. I think everything starts around noon, so not so much the morning, but right around there. It goes from event to event to event. We'll kind of cover it if I put it in here.
Thank you.
No problem. So the cost for Deanna Clayton is separate, should you choose to do that. The cost for the weekend is $260 per couple. It's prorated for a single person. If you have certain days you want to attend, you contact Debbie. She has it all worked out. A lot of that cost goes into the Imagine Museum's gala because there's a cost for going to that, as far as I know. But like I said, if you come and you make a purchase, we'll put your purchase amount for the weekend into the price and discount it off the top. Just something nice we can do to motivate people to come. One of the fun things about these events is a lot of the artists are in town. We'll have a chance to hang out with the people we know and love and meet the new ones that we don't know. Last year I think we had about 10 artists come. This year we have more, like 14, and their spouses. And everybody is so much fun to be a part, to join and talk to and go out to dinner with. We'll have more time for making plans like that. We don't have formal dinners planned. There's, I think, one lunch planned, so you can take someone out and have a chance to hang out with these people who we know and love. And a lot of them are working on brand new works for the exhibition too. So you'll have a chance to see what they're doing and spend some time with them. And there's Mark Laputa, Katrina Weintraub, Michael Taylor, Martin Blank. And I'm sure there'll be a couple more surprises that are going to show up because people are still trying to make plans and find places to stay. So this is what we love about this world, is the people we're in with, and a lot of them are going to be down there. So it's incentive to come. So we're going to kind of jump through some of the artists that are in the exhibition as well, setting some new work in, just to kind of a hodgepodge of what I have in so far from some of the artists. So we'll run through those now. It's a mix of the shows, so don't try to think like this is the Gravity Base show versus Legend, Pioneer. It's mostly Legends and Gravity Bound in this particular body of work. But Dick and Dee Bittman raised their hand. Yes, I would love to answer your question. If I can unmute you.
I apologize. I wasn't here at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And Dick mentioned to me that you said something about the hotel.
I did.
I was wondering if you could call them and see if you could get a group rate or somebody, in Habitat.
Right.
Because I'm sure they would give you a group rate.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Okay. That's it. Bye. I'll put my hand down.
No problem. Well, Dee brings up a point. We found out sure.
Okay, go on. No, Aaron, I don't know if you knew. I was gonna say Debbie did look. We had to put, I believe, a deposit down, and if the amount of rooms weren't booked, then we would have to pay for those rooms that weren't utilized.
She's not talking about that, Regina. That's a very good point, though. She's talking about touring the museum.
Ah, okay.
Not making rooms of the whole museum.
I thought she said hotel.
Or hotel.
Yeah,
Sorry,
hotel.
hotel. But Dick or Dee mentioned is that we're having some trouble arranging home tours, and she mentioned that the Ovation Hotel has private tours of the collection, and there's room for a group. So we're trying to figure that out, whether it's a small group or large group. We're trying to figure out on one of the days after the auction, which is Friday, to go see the space of the hotel. So if that interests you to go with us to check out the Ovation Hotel collection, let me know, because we're trying to put that together with the help of Dee, who came up with the idea. So thank you again, Dee. Back to the artwork. So this is Eakin Atix and Josh Davids. They're from Kalamazoo. They've been kind of blowing up as of late. They work in this beautiful blown format that's carved and has a cityscape feeling. This reminds me somewhat of the J. Muster cityscape pieces, but in a whole different style. Because if you know anything about the cityscape pieces that J. Muster did, from what I know, is he had commercial huge test tubes that he cut the bottom off and made his work out of. These are blown blanks, and they make the blanks usually as they travel from school to school teaching, or they make them back in Kalamazoo and then carve it down. The technical skill is quite amazing, but also these are becoming more diverse in color. So if you haven't acquired one of their works and you're thinking about it, their prices are still somewhat reasonable, and they're beautiful and they're light. And I loved it. I love that. And they're great people. Clickety click. John Miller's coming down. He's putting together a collection of all his Habitat Limited. So those of you who acquired some of them and maybe missed one, this would be a good chance to talk to him about it down there. I have a couple in my collection. I don't have all of them yet. I'm still trying to figure out when and where I can get them all. But these are very, very fun. And, you know, he's been well known for his fast food sculptures, and he makes larger ones too. So if you have a space in mind that you would fit this kind of work, it'd be great to talk to him at the show. Another artist coming to the show is Katrina Weintraub. She just gave a talk recently for AACG talking about her process and her work and her styles. I own a piece of this body of work called Gaze that I bought for my wife. They're just beautiful and fun works by her. She's a master of making these beautiful little animals. She makes little mice too. I own a mouse. So I'm a very supportive client of hers, I guess is a good way of putting it. And we're great to have her down there in her work because it's very fun. It's very Florida. You'll like it. The new work by Alex Bernstein. Many of you have seen this on social media. He's blowing up TikTok and Instagram, putting out what he's working on, watching sparks fly. He's quite the showman. And he is going to be down there in Florida with us. I think he's going to be recovering from shoulder surgery. So it's going to be great to see him to hang out while he recovers. But this new body of work he's put together is just stunning. We originally talked about doing this for a limited, believe it or not, but they became so elaborate that he needed to make them larger to make them more visually appealing. And it created this new body of work. So we just put out a video on Instagram with a bunch of these, and it's great to have him down there. He's one of the best. Peter Botas, he is an incredible artist that we've been representing for a few years now. He just makes some stunning sculptures. They're all mathematical masterpieces. I don't know how he does it, but if you haven't seen his work in person, we'll have some down there. He also works with color in his geometrical forms, as well as shapes. And we'll have a new piece that's actually a really cool stacked cube of different colors. So I'm looking forward to see that when we're down there. Lachazar, many of you know him. He's sitting in 4 new works. And this is one of them. I really was drawn to this piece because of the color and its form. He just finished this and sent the picture to me yesterday, so I was able to sneak it into this. It's about 35 inches tall, and it kind of reminds me of someone going, yay, but it's just so beautiful in front and back, and it would look beautiful in a window. And I like the really vertical pieces. I own a piece of his too in red that I really love, and someday I'll be able to take it home and put it on display when my kids are a touch older. But there's one of these in blue and amber, and then we're waiting for he has 2 horizontal pieces coming that you'll see down there. Thomas Berzon, another younger artist that's been really exciting. We've done really well with. He sent us some works, and we actually sold some works. So he sent us some more works with the sold works, and we're bringing the new works down to Florida. Just a master of color and style, very checked form. And we've had him in the Glass Coast Weekend before. There's always a place for one of these in one of your collections, so check him out down there. Eli Cecil, he was local in Sarasota and St. Petersburg and has moved to the other side of the state to Palm Beach, but he is a partner of ours here at Habitat, a friend of ours, and he's bringing some beautiful little bonsai trees that explore the space and time, kind of fits into the gravity-bound glass. And if you follow him on social media, you'll know that Laura Donifer was just down there at the Benziton Center near West Palm Beach, and they did a collaboration piece. Well, this is the first time you're going to see it in person. We're going to have Laura Donifer's collaboration piece at the Glass Coast weekend with Eli Cecil. So it's great to see her working, making some fun things. Right now, she's been traveling with her mom a lot, so she hasn't been in the studio much. Emily Williams is an artist that we've represented in last Glass Coast weekend, did well with. Very choral-like forms, very peaceful. You'll be drawn to it when you see it in person. We're excited about her work, a newer artist to our Habitat family. Deanna not only will be doing the class, which I talked about earlier, her work will be in the show. We just had a solo exhibition of her work here at the gallery, and I think most of it's still up. I think they haven't packed it all away. So it's great to have her down there doing the class and have her represent herself. I know she is extremely talented, and we're honored to have her in our exhibition. One of the cover pieces we put in the early ads is these spheres by Peter Holska. He's known for doing a lot of the work for Siegler, and he's taken his own ideas and put them in his own work. And I've seen videos of these rotating, and the color just moves around the piece. And we'll have hopefully at least 2. As soon as I saw this, I immediately offered him a solo show because they're just incredibly stunning, and his work is generally stunning already. So this new body of work I'm extremely excited about, and you'll see it first and foremost at our Glass Coast weekend. Andre Jacob is another artist we've been representing for a few years now. Magical pieces. I have no idea how he makes them. We've done quite well with his work, and he makes his work in a multiple of color and designs and scales. And it's something you'll definitely have to see down there. We've had him there before, but we'll have new work in Glass Coast weekend this year. Oliver Lesso is another artist we did a talk with over the Zoom, and it was kind of fun during the talk because he and his translator were kind of talking at the same time over and over again. But more of the story is we had some great visuals of his talent and his skill, and there's no arguing against it. He's one of the best out there today working in glass. And we'll have some of his work down there. He sent me this pyramid along with 3 by 4 other pieces that I'm eager to see. Mark Laputa, I mentioned his solo show. We're trying to get a preview for a solo show down there in Sarasota, so you'll have a chance to see a few of his pieces that are heavily inspired by nature. They're blown, but then heavily cut and carved away, and there's a variety of colors and tones. They're just beautiful objects. He's quite a talent. I know he got married recently, and like I mentioned earlier, I think it's his birthday, so happy birthday. John Moran, who now we can all say is the season 3 winner of Blown Away. He definitely fits in gravity bound art, and we're excited to be taking his work to the show. This work says take on it. It's pretty funny. Big fans of his. Some people say it, and I just describe it as artwork that challenges, but everything has a meaning, and it's something that we have to explore as art collectors. Work that has some depth and experience to it beyond the shine, and he really pushes that medium. Demetria, who's in this talk. I know I saw you in there. Hi, Demetria. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be having Demetria there at the exhibition. I think she's bringing her husband along. We'll have some great pieces of hers, and I think she's bringing a big blue leaf installation. So it's always great to have Demetria here. She's a big part of our glass world right now as the president of AACG. So we did well with her work last year, and we're honored to have you in our show again. Morag Riki, she is one of the winners of NGD 2022. Her work is very fun and peaceful, and a lot of it is about her relationship with her children and the difficulty sometimes that goes in with that. I recommend you watch her Zoom video with us celebrating her exhibition for NGG 2022. We'll have 3 works. They're not very big. I think they're about 18 inches tall, and these are, I think there's Trinket 1 and 2 and something else called Pink Panther. Very fun and loving works, but I'm a big fan of hers and a big fan of her father, David Riki, and it's great to see her working in the same medium as him. Michael Janis is on this call. Thanks for being here, Michael. This is a new body of work. I wish I had the video that played, but that screen behind the artwork itself actually moves and has a cloud-based movement behind it. So if you want to see it live, come to Glass Coast Weekend and see it. It's going to be an amazing piece to see in person. It is a beauty. We'll have some more of his work there on display as well, but this is the one I wanted to include in this presentation. Marlena Rose, many of you know her work. She's a local down there, living not too far from Sarasota and St. Petersburg. She's one of the artists that have been on the morning show now. I think her and Raven Sky River. We got to get more artists on that morning show on the TV, so people get experienced glass. So we'll have a good collection of her work for display, and it is quite fun and peaceful. This new horse series she's doing. I've seen single horses before. This is the first time I've seen multiples in one installation. Steve Lynn, our longtime Habitat member of our family, and has been on every single one of my Zooms, I believe, except maybe one. He's going to have 2 works on display down at our Glass Coast weekend. Every work has a story. Expect to read about all the pieces we have on display for him. Yeah, it's going to be a powerful presentation with 2 of his exhibitions, 2 of his work in the exhibition. So come down and see him. Someone new for our Glass Coast weekend is Sybil Peretti. She's we're displaying 3 or 4 works of hers in the Legendary show. So I believe we have two of these cat-like works that are very beautiful and peaceful. And we have some verbiage to just talk about them, and 1 other piece or 2 other pieces with birds. Been in quite demand. She's quite a talent. I know she's been dealing with a lot of family issues with her mother, flying back to Germany, so it's hard for her to get to work, but we're honored to have her in the show. Let me see who is next. Oh, Raven. So a few of you are familiar with Raven's work. He is an incredible talent. We're offering him a solo show, him and his wife, Kelly Odell, during our international here in Detroit in June. So this is a small taste. We'll have 2 works down there of Raven's, obviously heavily inspired by the aquatic. And this Raven, this thresher shark is not too big. I think it's like 18 inches wide. I could be wrong on that, but it is a beauty. And we'll have his work down there, and it's great to have him part of this exhibition again. Peter, who's usually on the Zooms as well, it's honored to have you here, sir, if you're around. Peter's got some new forms for us to show here at the exhibition. We had a good presentation with his last year. We're honored to have you back in the Glass Coast Weekend space. Excuse me. We'll have a few works of his, including one of his amber Perception X pieces that we had in our show of his a few years ago. So it's going to be quite a display of Peter's, and we're honored to have you. Hiroshi Amano from Japan. Many of you are familiar with his work. We've been showing him for longer than I've been at the gallery, and he's creating these beautiful bowl forms that are foiled. And I think half of them showed up at the gallery so far. We're waiting for the other half to get there. But Yamano is just an unbelievably talented. His work is unbelievably peaceful, and we'll be having his. He won't be there because he's planning coming in June, but we'll have a good collection of his on display. Wilford Grutens, we talked about him earlier. He'll be doing his solo exhibition, so you'll see a plethora of his incredible creations, including this cube, which I just found absolutely stunning, along with his flat work we talked about earlier and a few other pieces. Carrie Side is a new artist we've shown recently for the first time. I think we had her in our international, as well as we took her work to the Seattle Art Fair. So this work is plexiglass and resin and steel, creating these beautiful wall sculptures that change as you move around them, kind of like in a Wilford Grutens way, but the color changes as you explore the space. So expect to be blown away by Carrie's work. Michael Taylor will be here with the show with us with his wife Debbie. She will be doing a fundraiser the first day, or a charity event the first day, for her charity event called Deep Arts, which ends up taking children's drawings from underprivileged areas and turning them into glass by artists. It's kind of something fun that she's been doing for a while, and she'll be there at the show talking about it the first day and the rest of the show. But the first day is for the VIPs only who are coming in for the weekend. And that'll be the charity event, which is the first time we've done something like that. So Michael will be there with some of his incredible sculptures that we have in our gallery that they sent here already as they travel down to Florida. So expect to see them. One of the artists we had in MGG 2022 is also Danny White. He has some fun humanoid works. Danny dabbles in the pipe world and in the fine art world. And so we're grateful to have, I think we're going to have 5 of his pieces. They're very fun and eye-pleasing, and it just shows off his talent and the diversity of people working in glass today. So that wraps up a little bit of the imagery. It's a small taste of what you're going to experience in walking around our exhibitions that are all set up and lit and are going to be a lot of fun when you get down to see us there in Florida. The location is on the campus of the Ringling College of Art and Design, and it's kind of hard to find. Many people complained a little bit about trying to find us. So we got some big banners. So once you're on the right road, you won't miss us and you'll be able to find us quite easily. It's February 24th to 26th. There are public hours for people who live in Florida and can't afford or don't want to come for the whole weekend. You can just come during these particular hours. They're kind of hokey pokey, but it has to go around what we're doing for the whole weekend. So these are the public hours, which is our Friday through Sunday, to come see the space. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and look at the chat and see if anybody has any questions for sure. Yeah, Dean is coming along with Demetria, which is great. And someone mentioned, Howard, thank you for mentioning about the demonstration that Davide did at Corning. I'll definitely get a copy of that or put that on YouTube, because that would be a great thing to play. And since Davide is coming all the way from Italy and was planning on doing a demonstration, so that's a great idea. So the whole weekend is going to be incredible. There's a play-by-play on glasscoastweekend.com. You can see the entire program I put out that you can glance through and kind of get an idea for, and it will show you what and where you're supposed to be places. There are people that are in the room, like Jen Blazina, who is in the show and she's working on pieces, and a few others. So you'll see their work on display. I mentioned, yeah, Corey, that there's they can see the available work who can't attend. We'll be doing our live Zoom like we did last year. Andrew is coming with us to town, so we'll do a walkthrough for those who can't come to see the exhibition, so you can enjoy it virtually. Peter Bremers is attending. Thank you, Regina, with his partner, Janet Hargis. So they'll be there. There's a good collection of our Habitat family members that will be down there. And so when you travel down to see us, travel safe. That's what I can only say to you. And we look forward to seeing all of you then. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to sign up for the weekend, haven't, contact Debbie at the Habitat. Shoot me an email. I'll forward it off to. It is going to be an amazing time. It's going to be a little more laid back, so you don't have to worry about pressure to pressure from event to event, which is, I think, something needed, especially in Florida. Everybody slows down in Florida a little bit, I think. So I want to work on that as well. But thank you all for joining me today. Debbie is in the gallery. You can call her on her cell phone. Or she'll be in on Tuesday. And or you can shoot her an email at debbie@habitat.com, DEBBIE, just to get on her list, so she gives you a call. You can also sign up on our Habitat website. If you go to Habitat, click on the event, there's an RSVP link. It just emails her. So it's the same kind of thing, but it just goes to our website for those who want to do it. But I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in Sarasota. I'm looking forward to being warm. I'm looking forward to maybe finding a day at the beach with you all. So make sure we have a chance for that. And I want to wish you all a great weekend, and hopefully see you all next week for our MGD presentation. But unmute yourself and say goodbye, everybody. You're so serious with this mute button on, everybody.
Bye all.
Thank you, Joyce. Good to see everybody.
Okay, everybody.
Hey,
Bye,
folks.
Chad. Bye, Chad.
Hi, Maya. Hi, Harold. Good to see you both. Thank you, Mary.
Bye, Aaron.
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye, Erin. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Demetria. Take care, guys.